Hey, it's time to target with another episode of From Sales to the Streets. We got one of the biggest violent interrupters. Man, we got one of the guys that's always on front line when anything happens in the city. Man, that's going above and beyond for the youth. Man, y'all know who Mr. White is. Big Syke. Hey, look. From Sales to the Streets, man, we got Big Syke right here, man. Talk to him.
Hey, what's up, man? It's Big Syke. I'm in the community with the community, man. A man pulled up on me. That's real, man. We supporting each other, man. You know what I mean? It ain't nothing better. For so many years, man, people made this out of a hustle. They sectioned it off, man. But right now, it's a new wave going on. We coming on, we support each other. You know what I'm saying? Big, man.
Yeah. So look, right, you doing it real big in the community right now. You one of the biggest violence interrupters. You go above and beyond for the community, right? Man, tell us what's your inspiration. Why you go so hard for the youth?
Man, I see where they lacking it. You know what I'm saying? You know, I think outside the box, but not only thinking outside the box, I know what's missing. Because I was one of these youngest one day. You know what I mean? I was an average youth and you know, one of the kids coming out of a broken home. So I know what the need is. Just something as simple as a pair of shoes. You know what I mean? You know, that'll build confidence, man. You can have dusty pants, dusty shirt, but if you got a fresh pair of shoes on your feet, guess what? Yeah, you walking up in there like you own the junk. You know what I mean? So, you know, and then for a long time, you know, I was one of the biggest critics of violence interrupters and all this, right? However, you know, a few good men tapped into me like, Syke, if you feel as though it's something missing or something that needs to be done, why don't you go be a part of the solution instead of talking about what problems there are, right? You know, so that's what really, you know.
I feel that. So I got a question for you. Mm-hmm. What was one of your biggest adjustments from the sales to the streets?
Just how fast everything moves out here. You know, I did 15. You know, I was wrongfully convicted. You know, gave all my time back. And I did 15 years, man, behind the wall. You know what I mean? Everything slows down. You know, I tell a lot of people I got put into a time capsule. It's skyrocketing into the future. I come home 15 years later and just everything moves fast. You know what I mean? Everybody talk fast. They laugh at me saying, man, you talk slow. Nah, you know, it's just, you know, catching up with the environment and picking up the speed versus, you know, how it was then.
I feel that. So, tell us, like, what was one of your biggest accomplishments since you've been home?
Man, my biggest accomplishment is changing the narrative of changing my reputation and the old image of me, right? Improving, showing and then proving that I'm a better man. I grew up, you know what I mean? I'm not that young guy that was easily influenced. I'm not that young guy that was manipulated. I'm not that young guy that was full of trauma. You know, I'm not him, right? I'm a grown man that learned how to love himself and, you know, and that knows how to think for himself. You know what I mean? I'm a leader, not a follower, you know, and that was one of my biggest accomplishments since I've been home, man, was changing that whole narrative, man. You know, not just for the people around me, but for me, you know, because it's easy to be incarcerated, man. How many dudes go to jail and every day in there they say, when I get home, I'm done, right? I'm tired of getting locked up. But then they come home and they fall back victim to this trap, right? You know, so for me to stay consistent, you know, even when I had my lows, I stayed consistent, you know what I mean? And, you know, now I'm just starting to scratch the surface, but I'm reaping the fruits of my benefit. You know what I mean? I'm reaping the fruits of my labors, you know what I mean?
What's something that you would like to see more of from older guys and all the dudes that, you know, coming home from prison and giving and doing positive things in the community with the youth as far as what's going on in DC right now? What you would like to see more from the older guys?
I would like for them to stop running around and spreading that narrative that these young guys don't want to listen. I'd like for them to stop spreading that narrative that these young guys aren't teaching. They are. You know what I mean? It's your approach. You know what I mean? Y'all coming home with this, I believe, like thought process that I'm gonna pull up on Shawty and I'm gonna talk to Shawty like Shawty. Nah, you need to pull up on him like that's your little brother. You need to pull up on him like that's your son. You know what I mean? You know, and stop trying to meet these youngers' aggression with your own aggression. You need to understand that these youngers might not even just be aggressive towards you. You need to have, you know, a lot of you older dudes coming home need to take fatherhood classes to understand, you know, and to gain that empathetic ear when dealing with these youngers. You need to stop being afraid of these youngers, man. These youngers they ain't out here to hurt you, or they ain't. A lot of them don't even understand what's going on the inside with them. You know what I mean? And you need to start embracing these youngers instead of shunning these youngers. You know what I mean? And understanding that these youngers gonna tell you everything that's wrong with them. They're gonna tell you everything they need, right? Y'all just gotta learn how to listen, man. And if you don't know how to listen, there's classes and there's good men out here that can help you understand how to listen to these youngers so you can give these youngers some of the lessons and some of the mistakes that you made. You can help them, you know what I mean, not make the same mistakes that you made, but it's a proper way to go about it.
So tell the youth, why you'll choose this over the streets.
Every day I hung in the streets, I woke up in the morning thinking about going to jail or dying. Every day I walk doing this, I don't have to think about those things. You know what I mean? I'm saying life, in life, you live and you die. That's a given. That's promised to you, right? But I don't look towards the corner or look down the alley wondering if death coming out of it. You know what I mean? I don't look at a car riding past me wondering if death about to jump out that car. You know what I mean? I'm in my lane, I'm out the way. You know what I mean? And I'm doing what Allah has destined for me to do. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, if Allah with me, who be against me, right? You know.
Last thing, bro. If you could tell your youngest self something, what would you tell the younger version of you right now?
Have a little bit more patience, so everything when I was young, I was impatient, man. When it came to money, when it came to growing up, when it came to, you know, and a lot of it was, you know, a lot of other issues, you know, within the home, because we don't understand that, you know, a lot of us, when we vent or share our struggles or our frustration around our children, what we're doing is putting our problems on our children, where our children will start to try to figure out a way to help you because they love you. So they want to figure out how can they be of help, right? And that's what, you know, a lot of my impatience came from, you know, because I wanted to help out. You know what I mean? I wanted to help myself and my mother and my siblings, right? So, you know, if I could talk to my younger self, man, I just keep telling them every day, man, be a little bit more patient, man. A little bit more, hold on, man. It's gonna get, you know, it'll get greater later, man. You just gotta be patient, man.
So I just want to tell you this, though, bro. I've been saying you be real active when it comes to things that's going in the city. When you see violence, you be first one on the scene.
Yeah.
I can see you actually do that,
Yeah.
and I like that. Because you're one of the ones that actually was in the jungle,
There you go.
and you came out here and you decided to do something better.
That's
you
right.
decided to still talk to the youth, even if they don't want to listen. I'm gonna keep saying it over and over until y'all get it.
There you go.
So I appreciate that because the youth is the future.
Yeah,
and you doing what you're supposed to be doing, bro.
Man,
Keep
appreciate
doing
it, bro.
it.
Appreciate you, man.
You sell to the
that's
streets,
real,
man. With Big Syke, man.
Yeah, we out here, man.
Big boy.
Man, ball the big we on the cake with it. You know what I mean?
I heard you cut hair and shit, man. I'm going to the club tonight, man. I need to shape up or
Oh,
something.
yeah, I got you, man. Yeah, I got you. But you guys sharp though, Slim. You like I need one of them.
Man,
Damn,
Might
I
just
didn't
need
even
one of them
see that.
motherfucking hot towel treatment jumps.
I didn't even see the joints dancing in the
Hot
air.
towel treatment. Man, I got to get up in that motherfucker. Y'all been doing martinis too, man.
You gotta come and get you a recap or something, man. You know what I'm saying?
Man, it was just my birthday,
From the
man.
sale to the club,
You
though.
ain't even
Yeah.
throw me up in that
Sale to the club, you know what
Nah,
I'm
for
saying?
real. That's what we got to do, man. Nah, for real.
You know what I'm saying?
From the sale to the violence interrupters.
Yeah.
Yeah. To the VI. That CVI work.
Used to be an old dub, you know what I'm saying? Outreach runner, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Taking this shit worldwide, though,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
My good man, Uzi
Yeah, you gotta get
Uzi.
Uzi.
You know what I'm saying? Old dub, you know what I'm saying?
We pushing a different movement, man.
We pushing peace,
Yeah, man, we pushing peace, man. We
You know what
pushing
I'm saying?
part. You live long.
Straight up.
You live long. I'm saying what you want to do. You know what I mean?
Good man linking
for
up.
real.
Yeah, good man linking up. Yeah.
What you
straight
wanna
up
do?
and down.
You wanna stay out here or go in there? Which one?
Yeah. Yeah.
Love it out here, though. You know what I'm saying? Love it out
Feel
here.
good out here.
Love it out here, Slim. Freedom, Slim.
Feel good, Slim.
Need them phone calls, man, every day, man. Niggas stressed out, man, trying to be out this motherfucker, man, you know?
Yeah, sure.
Straight
Straight
man.
up.
Appreciate y'all niggas.
Nah,
out there.
appreciate
Straight
y'all
up.
pulling up, man.
Straight up.
Appreciate y'all pulling up, man. Real. That's real, Slim.
Hey, from the cell to the street. It was another episode. It's part 4. It was a good day in the community. Passing out book bags and shoes for the kids. Oh man, it was amazing. Stay tuned for next week's episode. From the cell to the street. Remember, like, comment, subscribe. It's Top the Target, signing off.